Hello and welcome to Well Done English class. Today we're going to do a B1 lesson and we're going to learn English with art. We're going to start off with some vocabulary to do with art, so when we look at the artistic pieces a bit later and do the reading, we can understand everything clearly. If you'd like to do the exercise now, you can pause the video. If not, we're going to go straight into the answers. Portrait. The portrait is a representation focusing on a person's face, okay? Head or upper body, usually highlighted personal features and expressions. This belongs to a genre as it describes the type of artwork. So the portrait of a person is the head, body, shoulders, the top half here. I am technically in a portrait right now. But of course nowadays we also use portrait on the phone to describe a picture that is vertical. Right? And if it is horizontal, we say landscape. And landscape is actually the next word. So if we look landscape in terms of art, what does it mean? It's relating to the background. It's depicting the natural scenery around. So mountains, trees, rivers. This is also a genre focusing on setting rather than figure. So it's more about the location than it is a person. We have the word figure coming a bit later, and figure, of course, means a person or a body. And in this case, we're not focused on that. We are focused on the landscape. Okay, the next word is intense. Now, intense describes the tone or emotion in art. It conveys strong emotion or impact or powerful visual qualities like color, vibrancy, or contrast. Right? So an intense emotion is a strong emotion. It adds emphasis to the next word. Admired. So admired is when you look at something impressive or attractive with pleasure. You admire someone or something because they've done something amazing. And you think, how did they do that? That is fantastic. Wow, I really admire that piece of work. Features. Features are just the subject's details. So referring to facial characteristics here, like the nose, the eyes, the mouth. These are all features of a person. Contrast. Contrast refers to the color and tone, typically the visual difference between light and dark areas, adding depth and focus. So maybe they have a darker background and a lighter foreground. This contrast would make you pay attention to the foreground more. Okay, we'll see in different artistic pieces how they use contrast to make you look somewhere specific. Okay, figure relates to the subject matter, particularly human form or bodies depicted in art. So we think about figure as the human body. Okay, so we say landscape is the actual natural environment. The figure is the human body. And then finally, composition. Composition is about where you put things in the frame. It's the structure, how elements are arranged within the artwork, affecting its balance, focus, and flow. So let's say I was going to make some art and I had these two pieces. Okay, not very exciting, but if I put this here, would it change something? Or if I change them around, then I put them here. This would be the composition of the piece if I move them to somewhere else in the frame. How does that make the piece flow or feel different? Now that we've done the vocabulary, we're going to move on to a little game where you're going to guess the name of the piece of art, who painted it, where is the artist from, and what year was it painted. So this is the most famous painting in the world, and I'm sure most of you know who this is and who painted it. But quickly, let's go. First of all, it is the Mona Lisa. This was painted by Leonardo da Vinci. He is from Italy. And the hardest question, what year is it painted? This is bonus points if you can get this right. It's 1503, so a long time ago. We will now read about the Mona Lisa and answer some questions. If you want to pause the video and do it as a reading yourself, you can do it that way. If you want to do this as a listening, you can as well. Just listen to my voice as I read through the text. Okay, let's begin. Painted between 1503 and 1517, Da Vinci's famous portrait, the Mona Lisa, has raised two big questions. Who is she, and why is she smiling? There are different ideas about who the woman is. Some say she is the wife of a Florentine merchant named Francesco di Bartolomeo del Giocondo, which is why the painting is also called La Gioconda. Others think she could be Leonardo's mother, Caterina, based on his memories of her. Some even believe it could be a self-portrait of Leonardo as a woman. Wow, so interesting and so different what people can believe, huh? Do you remember what portrait means? So this is the question. We have portrait here in context. Of course, a portrait is a picture of the face and the upper body. So we see the Mona Lisa here. We have her upper body and her face. So this is a portrait picture. Good. We also have a landscape in the background, which we will talk about in a second. As for her smile, its mystery has puzzled people for hundreds of years. Whatever the reason, her calm expression fits well with the soft, distant landscape behind her, created by Leonardo's special painting style called atmospheric perspective. Do you remember what landscape means? Okay, so we have portrait at the front, the person, and the landscape in the background. If we see here, we can see the mountains, the lake, the trees. This is the landscape, and here it's also used as a background. As we can see, for me, I feel like there's less detail here, drawing your focus here to the Mona Lisa herself. If we had like great detail in these trees or forests in the background, I feel like your attention might be drawn there. But that's not what the artist wanted. The artist wanted you to look at her, the Mona Lisa herself. The next picture. So again, we're going to play the game. What is the name of this painting? Who painted it? Where was the artist from? And what year was it painted? You can pause the video if you want to try, or if you know, we can go along now. So the name of this painting is The Starry Night. Vincent van Gogh painted it. He is from the Netherlands, and it was painted in 1889, just 100 years before I was born. So again, we'll do another reading, and in the same fashion, you can pause, do it as a reading for yourself, or you can listen to me read it and do the questions along with me. So, Vincent van Gogh's most famous painting, The Starry Night, was created in 1889, while he was staying at an asylum in Saint-Rémy, France. Van Gogh chose to go to the asylum because he was struggling with his mental health. The Starry Night shows a dark night sky filled with bright, swirling stars, which may reflect his intense emotion and inner struggle at the time. Do you remember what intense means? We have here intense emotions. So intense emotions, it means very strong emotions, very powerful emotions. In the painting, you can see large swirling lines and bright circles, almost as if the night sky is alive and moving. Some people believe the painting shows Van Gogh's mix of feelings, his personal struggles and his deep love for nature. Today, The Starry Night is one of the most recognized and admired paintings in the world. So here we have the word admired. Do we remember what admired means from the beginning of class? Yes, that's right. It means to absolutely love something, to adore something, to think it is amazing for a certain reason. So people admire it now because they know Van Gogh's story and they know what it means emotionally as well as artistically. Okay, so what is the name of this painting? Who painted it? Where was the artist from? And what year was it painted? Okay, so this is the girl with the pearl earring. It was painted by Johannes Vermeer. Good. He was born and raised in the Netherlands, and he painted this piece in 1665. Let's read a little bit more about Johannes Vermeer's Girl with the Pearl Earring. So, Johannes Vermeer's painting, Girl with the Pearl Earring, created in 1665, looks surprisingly real and modern, almost like a photograph. Some experts think Vermeer might have used a tool called a camera obscura, a device that helped artists create images similar to the photos, but it's uncertain. We don't know who the young woman in the painting is, though some people believe she may have been Vermeer's maid. In the painting, she turns and looks over her shoulder, directly at the viewer, as if trying to connect with them across time. Wow, do you guys feel that connection across time? Do you see those emotions in the eyes? What do you guys think? Do you think she's trying to connect with you? Do we know who the woman is? Of course, we see here, we don't know who the young woman is in the painting. No one knows who this picture is. Good. The girl with the pearl earring isn't exactly a portrait though. It's a type of Dutch painting called a tronie, which focuses on facial features rather than showing a specific person. Today, it's one of the most famous paintings in the world. So, do you remember what features means? Here, we have it focuses on facial features rather than showing a specific person. So the person is not important, but the features of the person are. So the nose, the eyes, the mouth, the ears, these are the features of that person. And we can see here is very important, and that's where the emotion of the piece comes through. The next piece. What is the name of this painting? Who painted it? Where was the artist from? And what year was it painted? What is the name of the painting? The Great Wave of Kanagawa. Who painted it? Katsushika Hokusai. Where is he from? He's from Japan. And what year did he paint it? He painted it in 1831. Okay, so let's read about the Great Wave of Kanagawa. The Great Wave of Kanagawa was created around 1831 by Japanese artist Katsushika Hokusai during the Edo period. It is a wood block print and the first piece in Hokusai's series 36 Views of Mount Fuji, which shows Japan's tallest mountain from different angles and in various weather conditions. In this artwork, Mount Fuji appears in the background, framed by a massive curling wave in the foreground. The wave seems to rise up as if to crash down on the three small boats, making both the mountain and the people in the boats look tiny in comparison. This powerful wave captures the strength of nature and contrasts with the calm, unmoving mountain in the background. Do you remember what contrast means? Here we have contrast as in color contrast we were talking about earlier. When a shade contrasts with another, you see a stark difference. You see a big difference. Here we're talking about the contrast of movement and not moving. So we have the movement of the wave, which contrasts, which is completely the opposite to the calm, unmoving mountain in the background. So contrast has that feeling of a big difference between the two pieces. So contrast here with movement, and you can have contrast too with colors or light. So the next piece, what is the name of this sculpture? So we're going off paintings quickly. Who created it? Where was the artist from? And what year was it made? Let's have a look. This is Venus de Milo. Who created it? Alexandros of Antioch. Where was he from? He was from Greece, so this is ancient times. And what year was it made? Between 160 and 110 BC. So a very long time ago. Again, we're going to read a little bit about Venus de Milo, and then you can try to answer the questions for yourself. The Venus de Milo is one of the most famous sculptures in art history, admired for its beauty and skillful Hellenistic artistry. This marble statue, known for its missing arms, is displayed in the Louvre Museum in Paris, where it continues to attract many visitors. Because the Venus de Milo statue was found without its arms, it's difficult to know for sure who the figure represents. In ancient Greek and Roman sculptures, gods and goddesses were often shown holding items that revealed their identity. Since those items are missing, art historians can only make educated guesses. Do we remember the word figure? What does the word figure mean? Of course, here it means the actual statue. This is a body, this is a person. There is no background because it's just a statue, so this is a figure. It's referring to the whole piece. Good. There are two main theories about the statue's identity. The most popular idea is that the statue represents Venus, the Roman goddess of love, known as Aphrodite in Greek mythology. Many believe this because of the statue's graceful feminine style, which is typical for depictions of Venus. Another theory suggests that she could be Amphitrite, the Greek goddess of the sea. This is significant because the statue was found on the island of Melos, where Amphitrite was worshipped. Archaeologists even found a small piece of Parian marble shaped like an apple near the statue, which could connect it to Amphitrite, as the apple is one of her symbols. Okay, so the question here, which two goddesses do archaeologists believe the figure to be? So we have two goddesses. Of course, first we have Venus, which is the Roman goddess of love, or known as Aphrodite in Greek mythology. Or the second god it could be is Amphitrite, the Greek goddess of the sea. So those are the two gods it could be, and they are unsure still until this day. Okay, last piece we will look at today is a very famous piece, but do you know the name? So first of all, what is the name of the painting? It is the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. Who painted it? Michelangelo. Good. Where was the artist from? He was from Italy and he was Italian. What year was it painted? It was painted in 1512. So again, a very long time ago. This is the last little reading we will do together. Again, you can listen along or you can read it yourself by pausing the video now. Italian artist Michelangelo, 1475 to 1564, is one of the most famous painters and sculptors in history. As a major artist of the High Renaissance, he is well known for his impressive use of large scale and his skill in showing the human body realistically. What two things are Michelangelo's art famous for? We can see here, he is well known for his impressive use of large scale, so very big pictures, and also showing the human body realistically. As we can see, these are massive pictures, but still we have realistic bodies shown here. Very difficult to do, I'm sure. Although all of Michelangelo's works are admired, his most famous piece is on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. Painted for the Pope, this grand artwork is filled with religious scenes and figures, carefully balanced to create a beautiful composition. Michelangelo's unique style and attention to detail make this one of the world's most beloved masterpieces. Now, do we remember what composition means? Composition in this piece is super important because it's where the pieces are framed, where the people are inside of the frame. So as we can see, there's just so many different pictures here, and he must have thought a long time about which part of the Bible he wanted to tell and where. So each frame is like a story as well from the Bible. This is the end of the class today. What I would like you to do is write in the comment section below, who is your favorite artist? What is the name of a piece of art that you admire most? Where is the artist from? And what year did they paint it? You may add extra information if you think there's something interesting about the artist that I should know. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video or if you learned something, I would love it if you could subscribe. If you'd like to watch a lesson of the same level, you can click here and watch Learn English with Tennis. If that's not your cup of tea, you can click here and learn about onsen, a Japanese cultural and natural wonder. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. See you!